I feel like I'm super rushed all the time. Like during the day, I'm just like go, 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 go. Like
Good.
even
Good.
even I take an hour off before the end of the day, like you were saying, and I still just feel like I'm just like I don't even have a moment to breathe because there's so many things to do. I don't know. I don't know if I should feel like things can be slower and not so rushed.
The thing is, like, two things I want you to realize. That number one, there will always be things to do. You know what I mean? Like, always. A guy like you, who's similar to a guy like me, like, we subconsciously or even unconsciously always create new things that we want because we're fucking driven. So even if I would give you $100 million right now, what you would do is you'd buy a house, you'd get a family, and then you'd sit there and then you'd be like, I should build a barn. So now you're constantly thinking about the barn. Now you're building the barn and you're like, I should renovate the blah. And now you just always do, you always create shit that
Yeah,
doesn't
yeah,
happen.
yeah, yeah.
But then,
Mhm.
funnily enough, is like, as weird as we are, we always create these fake, unrealistic dream scenarios of that one day when there will be nothing else that has to be done, where we're finished. It's like we're chasing our own tails, you know? But then the thing is, when you get there, because I've been to places like this in my mind many times, like when I finished high school, like I want to finish high school with like perfect grade, like literally perfect grade. I was school best. I got a fucking hat and I was able to hold a speech. Nobody gave a shit. But I did it. And I'm like, I did it. And I legitimately, like, I don't know, for like 48 hours, I was like wandering around, like, there's nothing more to do. And then I was like, and then there's the next thing. And now I'm going to study music. So, and now I started chasing my own tail again. Same was when I dropped the natural. I'm like, oh, the natural. Now let me promote. And then it was always the same. I was always chasing the next tail. So it's like, just realize that it will never be over. And that's even fine. Like, the art is to start living with incompletion. Because a guy like you and I were like, I can only do the thing that I really want to do, like the traveling, like the when I did the other thing, when I finished the biz, when I finished the blah, when I finished the thing. And the
Mm.
art of learning how to live, how to be happy with us is to learn, like, hey, I have permission to already do these things, even though I'm not complete with the tasks, because the task will never be complete. The last 3 years, I fell back into this habit of like, I'm not going to do this, I'm not going to do that until I finish this with the business. I finished that with the business. I finished that with the business. And then over 3 years, I always started new shit. And after I completed the first one, and you know what? This month I said, fuck this. I'm going to do all the things I want to do because I'll never be complete. Friday, I'm going to go to Germany to go to Rock and Park. Then I go straight from Germany to Naples to hang out with my girlfriend, spend some time in Italy. And I go straight from Naples back to Austria on my sister's birthday. Then I go straight from my sister's birthday, literally straight from there to Prague to see Metallica live. Then literally next morning, I wake up early, fly to Tallinn to see Jordan Peterson live. Then I take a ferry from Tallinn to Helsinki, spend a day there for my girlfriend to drop her stuff. Then we fly from Helsinki to London. By the way, Max, if you want to hang, we're going to go see the Rolling Stones live. I bought like VIP, baller VIP tickets. The next day, we'll take a train to Bristol and see Elton John live. And it's just like, I'm doing all these things that I never gave myself permission to, but I got forced to do it because it's Elton John's last tour, and the Rolling Stones, God knows how long they can live their lives the way they do. So I got forced to do it, and I'm going to have to learn now to not freak out and just be like, I deserve this. Okay. Like, I'm going to enjoy this thing now, and I'm still going to work next to it. And it's just like, you have to learn with this incompletion and to be totally fine with it, because you cannot attach your identity to your progress. And this is really interesting. If you guys want to go really deep on that, this is like role psychology. This is actually the kind of psychology that my mother does. It's like, we all inherit different roles. Have you guys ever noticed, like, when you hang out with a specific person from your childhood, you inherit a different role? When I hang out with you guys, like, I'm the role of I know what to do and I'm giving you advice, right? Best example. But then when I'm hanging out with my mentors, I all of a sudden inherit the role of like the humble sheep, just being, okay, master, I do this, With you, I'm like, but with my mentor, I inherit a completely different role, right? And just like we inherit different roles with different people, we also inherit different roles with ourselves. And there's some roles that we neglect, even though they're important for us. right? So like one of my roles that is very, very focused on is I am Max. I am hardworking. I am successful. I am an achiever. When I'm afraid, I fucking work. I push, I push, I push, even if I don't feel like I conquer the world. And the role that is not so focused on for myself, even though it's an important one, is the I am Max who also deserves to chill. I am Max who can also push too hard. I am Max who's just as valuable of a human being when he's lying in bed on a Monday morning and just fucking chilling. You know, like sometimes I actually watch Netflix. I literally have videos where I'm saying Netflix is for fucking broke people, which is true. But you know, like every now and then I'm gonna watch Netflix, and I have to teach myself to be like, Max, it's okay. Go watch Netflix. So you have to nurture that identity within you as well. That's the only way you can still be successful and not kill yourself over it.
I resonate with that a lot. Do you feel anxious if you're going to the concert and then traveling and this and that, and you actually have less time to do all the other work and stuff? Like it's okay if things go slower and progress slower, but like inside I feel so rushed.
I feel anxious at first, and ask my girlfriend about that. I can really freak out because the thing is, like with business, you never know ahead of time, you know? It's like my girlfriend is like, let's go to Lapland. And I'm like, well, I don't know how it's going to be with the business. You know, if I got to hustle hard or if I got to shoot a bunch of new ads, I don't know. But she's like, well, this is the only time I can because I have a fucking job, you know, and my dad's going to join us. So he has a job. So I'm like, hey, it, let's go in March. And just hoping it's like a calmer week when I'm there. Lo and behold, I go there and it's just a fucking mayhem week. Like a bunch of shit is happening. And we're like going skiing, you know, and it's like minus 20 degrees. I can't even have my phone on the fucking lift because my hands are freezing. So I'm just like, I'm freaking out. We're like in winter wonderland, like amazing. If you ever have Arctic Circle, it's amazing. It's breathtaking. And I'm just like, I can't even enjoy it. I'm just going down on the snowboard, like, and I'm not even there mentally. And then over like a fucking hour, I'm like, I can't change it. Am I freaking out about things or is it actually burning? And I'm like, I'm afraid it's gonna go on fire. What do we say? We don't fix problems that
Don't exist yet.
A lot of times, actually, you freaking out over things that may or may not happen aren't even gonna happen. And then they aren't happening. And you're like, I wasted now a perfectly fine day with a beautiful girlfriend and her dad in the fucking Arctic Circle because of something that is not even fucking real. And then you realize, like, I'm literally causing a lower quality of life for myself. What's the point of having my business and making all this money if the quality of life is fucking lower? So again, here, you have to learn to just be like, your track record of getting out of situation is still undoubtedly at 100%. So what makes you think that this time's gonna be different? You know, so it's like you're out there with your homies at a soccer game, or you're traveling, you're on a airplane, and you're like, wow, I should be doing lead gen, it's gonna blah blah blah. First off, no, it probably won't. Second off, if it does, we can handle the problem, especially if you're in this program right now. So you're never going to be in a situation where you don't know what to do, right? We always say, like, it's not a problem if you don't hit your numbers. It's only a problem if you don't know why. So you will always know why with us. You're not an employee anymore. And as an employee, you never have to worry about, right? It's like I get paid to show up at 9 and go home at 5. You don't have that anymore, but you still have to learn to be like, you know what, like it will be fine. Like, and that's a kind of a pressure that we have to learn how to deal with. Just like Bruce Lee said, don't hope for like, I hope I'm just going to guarantee to get all that money. It's never going to happen. Instead, pray for the strength to be cool with worse or better weeks or months. You know what I mean?
Building and operating a freedom business is one thing, and learning how to enjoy it is a whole other skill.
It's a skill in and of itself. What I also hear a lot is, I'm getting older, so these are kind of the things that occupy my mind, is like, once you have kids, that's it. It's over, because now you're going to be constantly worried about your kids. And like, I've heard this from many freshly baked parents. They're like, they just started getting anxious as over the first months or years, because they're like, What if like my kid just like falls and hits his head on the table? And then you'll learn that like, man, the last time you had no worries were when you were a kid, because all the worry was on your parents. What's the alternative? Not get kids? I'd love to have kids, and I know I'm gonna be scared as shit for these kids. And then I have to learn, just like I had to learn with business, to let go. What's the alternative? Have the kid be in like a room with pillows so he can't get hurt, never let it out? Like, you know what I mean? Like, the kid has to go out